Hey, today I have something really fun to share with you today. And I first heard about this recipe when my friend's daughter sold me this treat, and I was just like, where did this come from? How is it made? And so this particular recipe I have been cooking for about the past 5 or 6 years, and it is delicious. So this is sea salt and caramel matcha green tea rice krispies, and it's a delicious recipe. You will enjoy it, especially if you love matcha green tea and all its health benefits. Okay, so here we go. 1 package mini Kraft marshmallows, and I use the name brand stuff with this. I don't mess with generic brands for this particular recipe. Okay, so 6 cups Kellogg's Rice Krispies, another name brand. 4 tablespoons butter, another name brand from Costco. This is the only butter I use for all my recipes. I did not try to use any other butter for my cookies, my butter mochi, my Russian tea cakes. This is the only butter. Okay, so this is the matcha powder, and I'm going to try to bring it up to you. And I bought this at the Japanese market today, and it is especially made for cooking. All right, so this is matcha green tea powder. Looks like my Ada and product of Japan. So I have already tried to use this in my recipe here, and it is proven to be a good brand. All right. Yes, 2 teaspoons of that for this Rice Krispie. Okay. Now for the toppings, we're going to do a sprinkle of sea salt. And in my house, I have these from Hawaii: Palm Island bamboo jade sea salt. I also just have regular white Hawaiian sea salt. And then I also have a stash of Lush Lava Hawaiian sea salt. So today I think I'm going to use my Blush Lava Hawaiian sea salt, but I think the other ones will do. You'll probably get the same effect, but this is my preference. Okay, and another topping is for lining would be the any brand caramel in a jar. All right. And this is an extra special topping: crushed cashews and sweetened coconut flakes. So the times that I have brought this around to my friends and family at parties, oh my gosh, they just enjoyed it. They couldn't believe the kind of flavor that this carries. So we'll just go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn on my 14-inch skillet here, get a good look at what is going to be done here. Turn it on. Position my camera. And you cannot walk away from this recipe or everything will just burn. All right. So we're going to start off with the 4 tablespoons of butter. So do not skimp on the butter or it'll be a recipe failure. So I actually go as far as even to make sure that it's lined up correctly so I don't get less than 4 tablespoons. So this kind of varies from the original Rice Krispie recipe where they asked for 3 tablespoons, but I have found by error that 3 tablespoons does not work for this recipe, and I like 4 tablespoons. I'm just going to get a good melt of this butter all around the pot here. And I have recreated this recipe plenty of times. because I do have some close friends that like gluten-free desserts, and this is definitely a gluten-free one. Okay, we'll let that cook a little bit. So you have to kind of work fast here. You can't really walk away. So here it goes. Remember the Kraft brand marshmallow, okay? And I do not like the big marshmallows. I only like the small mini ones, one whole package. There's something about the big ones that it doesn't seem to melt right. Okay, this is a little bit of the tricky part, but this is what gives this the matcha flavor, and it is 2 teaspoons of this matcha powder. Pour it right on top of the marshmallows. Okay, so very tricky because you don't want the powder to burn on your marshmallows. So you have to keep mixing. And I could already smell the matcha coming out and getting cooked, and it smells really, really good. And I have to give some credit to my friend's daughter regarding this Nicole. She made this, and she was selling it, and I just went ahead and bought some. And I went searching for this matcha green tea powder. I found it at the Asian stores, and that was about 7 years ago. And after that, it just seemed to blow up in all the desserts here where I live. Matcha ice cream, matcha boba, matcha coffee at Starbucks, matcha everything. But this is a very unique matcha recipe that I like, and I also make matcha shortbread that I like, and I may feature it one day here. Gotta work quick. And here is the 6 cups of Rice Krispies, and here we go. Gotta work really fast to get it mixed in. And what I've noticed is with other brands of Rice Krispies and other brands of marshmallows, it just doesn't come out right. So I suggest that if this is your first time making this, and you can get this stuff on sale, that you get the brands that I recommend. I know the matcha might be a little bit of a challenge to find, but I know that they will have it at the Japanese grocery store. You just have to find the one that is not extremely expensive. This bottle was about $6. So I would say there is about 10 to 15 teaspoons of matcha powder in there, but you could get good use out of it, not just for this, but for shortbread cookies, for your matcha green tea, hot drink. It will not go to waste, and it packs a lot of health benefits. So we are about done mixing this here, and I have to work quick or things will burn. Okay, here we go. this turned out a really pretty dark green. Oops. Sorry. I just had to. I'm going to save this for myself later. And that is just a delicious bite of fresh, off the hot skillet matcha green tea Rice Krispies. So the trick to this is you have to flatten it out with a big spatula. And look at how fast I flatten this out. I'm going on 11 minutes here. I'm trying to keep them at 10 minutes, the videos, but I think this needs a little bit of extra special attention. Okay, so there you go. Matcha green tea Rice Krispies. But we're not done yet. We are going to put sea salt, and have to be careful with this salt. You can't over salt things or you will just have salty matcha green tea Rice Krispies. So kind of just take, maybe I would say that's like a half a teaspoon, and just kind of pour it over the top there. Next, the caramel. This is the fun part. But this is the classic way to caramelize your desserts, is just to take a toothpick and just run it up and down. And I do not suggest doing this after it has cooled down. I suggest doing it immediately so that it can kind of soak it into the Rice Krispie itself, and it does not ruin the Rice Krispie. It actually enhances it, makes it softer. All right, now the next ingredient that was optional, and the ladies just love it this way, is coconut and cashews. So it just adds a little bit more protein to it. So I'll leave one side the way it is, and I'll put the other side with coconut and cashews so you can compare. All right. All right. So this side will be the coconut and cashews. And this side will be no coconut and cashews. So I'm just going to go ahead and push this in so that'll stay. And I already have prepared another batch, because I know when I have the ingredients out, one batch of this goodies will not last a night. It needs double batch. So for a party, you might even have to do triple batch, depending on who your party audience is. So I'm gonna bring something really close to you to compare. That is really, really pretty. Dark green. Coconut cashews. All right. And I'm going to, I really don't like cutting my desserts on camera because I might mess up, but let's just go ahead and do it because some of my friends are waiting for this. Okay, this is without. You can still see the caramel drizzle. It has not been soaked in yet, but this is without coconut and cashews. All right, so we have with coconut and cashews, and without coconut and cashews. You could do both. That's the beauty of cooking. You could do whatever you want with your cooking. So I just gave you the basic recipe for this really delicious Rice Krispie dessert. I don't think that you'll eat a Rice Krispie any other way from here on out. All right. Thank you for listening.